One thing, this is Bishop Barber with Repairs of the Breach. I also want to concur with what Dr. Johnson has just said and add to it that Black people are concerned about why do we have already had a delay in voting rights, fixing the Voting Rights Act. We had a delay in that, one vote and no more pushing. We've already had a delay in living wages with 60.9% of Black people being poor and low wealth. And we've not had living wages, the minimum wage raised. And minimum wage raising it was an issue at the March on Washington 1963. And here we are 60 years later, and we still have not had it. Now, someone wants to say there's a political consequence. If you ban menthol, there's going to backfire in the Black community. It's just a lie. It's just not true. And the question is, who's saying that and where are they coming from? The reality is that not only does this menthol hurt Black people, it hurts the poorest of Black people. I come from Eastern North Carolina. I come from the South. And what is so hurtful about this is in the South, we are the ones who are exploited by the tobacco companies from the seed to the barn to the lungs. They exploit poor communities. I was one of those exploited at a young age, forcing us to work for hardly anything to crop the tobacco. They ran Black farmers who grew tobacco almost out of business, taking over agro tobacco farmers, big farmers. And for years and years and years, they have sold what Dr. Edith Neptune says, and she's from Eastern North Carolina as well, tobacco country, drugs. And I want us to hear that, drugs. Menthol's a drug in our community. What the administration ought to be focusing on in terms of political consequences is we should right now pass voting rights in the Senate and force the House that's led by Republicans to respond. We should pass living wages in the Senate. That's what the president and others should be focused on, and force the House to react to it. So rather than buying into a few folk walking into the White House, for whatever reason, they got paid by the tobacco companies or other, and making it, as Dr. Johnson said, this red herring issue, what we ought to be focused on are the daily life issues that really people are concerned about. Enough people have died finally from COVID. Over 350,000 people died during COVID from the lack of health care. That's what we ought to be focused on. People went into bankruptcy because we called them essential workers, but treated them like they were expendable. We sent them to work without living wages, without paid leave, without health care. We took back the things we pushed during COVID so far that ended child poverty and brought poverty down. And now we've rescinded those things. If you really want to empower the electorate, focus on the things that would lift the lives of poor and low wealth people, Black, white, brown, and otherwise, and stop the foolishness of claiming that if you pass a menthol ban, that somehow that's going to undermine the power, the potential of the Black vote or any other vote. It's cynical, it's wrong, and it's a form of Russian roulette with people's lives, and it should stop now.